Men's rights violations. An in-depth analysis. Discussions about gender rights often focus on women's struggles, but men also face violations of their rights in various aspects of life. These issues are often overlooked due to societal expectations, stereotypes, and biases in legal and social systems. Men's rights violations manifest in areas such as family law, false accusations, domestic violence, workplace policies, education, mental health, military conscription, homelessness, and reproductive rights. Understanding these issues is essential for fostering true gender equality and ensuring that the rights of all individuals, regardless of gender, are protected. 1. Family law and child custody bias. One of the most significant areas where men face discrimination is in family law, particularly in child custody and divorce proceedings. Many legal systems still operate under the assumption that mothers are the primary caregivers, leading to a bias against fathers. Custody discrimination. In many countries, mothers are more likely to receive primary custody of children after a divorce, even when the father is equally capable of providing care. This bias results in fathers struggling to maintain strong relationships with their children. Child support and alimony. Courts often mandate high child support and alimony payments from men, sometimes even in cases where the father has limited financial resources. Failure to meet these obligations can lead to legal consequences, including jail time. Parental alienation. Some fathers experience parental alienation, where the custodial parent manipulates the child to turn against the non-custodial parent, leading to emotional distress for both father and child. Case example. In the U.S., studies have shown that mothers receive sole custody in approximately 80% of custody cases. Many fathers struggle for years in court to gain equal rights in parenting, often at great financial and emotional expense. 2. False accusations and legal bias. Men are disproportionately affected by false accusations of crimes such as domestic violence, sexual assault, and harassment. While real victims of these crimes deserve justice, false allegations can ruin an innocent man's life. Career and reputation damage. Accused men often face immediate social and professional consequences, even before an investigation takes place. Some lose their jobs, families, and social standing due to unproven allegations. Legal system bias. In some legal systems, men accused of sexual misconduct or domestic violence are treated as guilty until proven innocent. The burden of proof often falls on the accused rather than the accuser. False accusations and suicide. Some men falsely accused of crimes face extreme mental distress, leading to depression or even suicide. Case example. In 2006, the Duke University lacrosse team was falsely accused of sexual assault. The accused young men faced severe public backlash and had their futures nearly destroyed before being proven innocent. Despite this, their reputations never fully recovered. 3. Domestic violence against men. Contrary to popular belief, men can also be victims of domestic violence, but their cases are often ignored or ridiculed. Lack of support services. Many domestic violence shelters and helplines primarily serve women, leaving male victims with limited resources. Stigma and reporting hesitation. Society often downplays the severity of male victimhood in abusive relationships, leading many men to suffer in silence. Legal discrimination. In many countries, domestic violence laws favor women, making it difficult for male victims to get restraining orders or legal protection. Case example. A study by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found that approximately 1 in 3 domestic violence victims in the U.S. are men, yet very few shelters exist to assist them. 4. Workplace discrimination and high-risk jobs. Men face workplace discrimination in different ways, including employment policies, dangerous job conditions, and biased hiring practices. High-risk jobs. Men make up the vast majority of workers in high-risk industries such as construction, mining, logging, and military service. As a result, men suffer significantly higher rates of workplace injuries and fatalities. Gender quotas and hiring bias. Some companies implement gender quotas to promote female employees, sometimes at the expense of equally qualified male candidates. This can lead to workplace resentment and unfair hiring practices. Discrimination in family leave. Many companies offer extensive maternity leave for women but provide little or no paternity leave for men, reinforcing outdated gender roles. Case example. In 2020, statistics from the U.S. Bureau of Labor showed that 93% of workplace fatalities occurred among men, primarily due to high-risk jobs. Despite this, workplace safety policies often focus more on issues affecting women. 5. Education system bias. Educational institutions have increasingly implemented policies and programs that favor female students, sometimes to the detriment of boys. Lower academic performance among boys. Studies show that boys are more likely to fall behind in reading and writing compared to girls. However, fewer resources are allocated to address this issue. Disciplinary disparities. Boys are more likely to be punished for the same behavior that is overlooked in girls. They face higher suspension and expulsion rates. Scholarship and program disparities. Many universities offer scholarships and mentorship programs specifically for women, while fewer exist for men. Case example. In the U.S., women now outnumber men in college enrollment. In 2021, women made up 60% of college students, yet scholarships and educational programs continue to focus more on empowering women rather than addressing the decline in male enrollment. 6. Mental health stigma and male suicide rates. Men face unique mental health challenges but often struggle to get proper support. Cultural expectations. Society often pressures men to suppress emotions and tough it out, discouraging them from seeking help. Higher suicide rates. Globally, men are significantly more likely to die by suicide than women. In some countries, the male suicide rate is 3 to 4 times higher than the female suicide rate. Lack of mental health resources. Mental health campaigns often focus on women, while male-specific support systems are underdeveloped. Case example. According to the World Health Organization, men account for 75% of all suicide deaths worldwide, yet mental health awareness campaigns still primarily target women. 7. Military conscription and gender discrimination. In many countries, men are legally required to serve in the military, while women are not. This is a clear violation of gender equality. Forced military service. Some countries enforce mandatory conscription for men, subjecting them to dangerous conditions and forced labor. Discrimination in combat roles. While women can now serve in many military positions voluntarily, men are often forced into combat roles with no choice. Case example. In South Korea, all able-bodied men must serve in the military, while women are not required to do so. Those who refuse face imprisonment. 8. Homelessness and legal system disparities. Men are disproportionately affected by homelessness and incarceration, yet support services often prioritize women and children. Homelessness rates. In many Western countries, men make up 75–80% of the homeless population. Bias in criminal sentencing. Men receive longer prison sentences than women for the same crimes, demonstrating a legal system bias. Case example. In the UK, studies have shown that women receive 63% lighter sentences than men for identical crimes. Conclusion. While gender equality movements have made significant progress in addressing women's rights, many issues affecting men remain ignored. Family law, false accusations, workplace discrimination, education, mental health, and military conscription are areas where men face significant rights violations. Addressing these issues does not mean taking away from women's rights but rather ensuring that both genders receive fair treatment under the law. True gender equality can only be achieved when society acknowledges and addresses the challenges faced by men as well.